Hello everybody, Jim here on this chilly night, enjoying a little bit of holiday wine, getting myself into a nice festive mood because it is indeed Christmas time, the most wonderful time of the year as we all know, and so I've been doing a little bit of reminiscing and decided to turn on the microphone and talk a little bit about Christmas time in Japan. What fun. First, I do want to say big thank you to my good friend Justin Nitsa for letting me use some of his footage for this video. He did some filming around the city for some Christmas illumination, and he was kind enough to let me use some of that footage. Justin, good friend of mine, helps me out with videos occasionally. If you haven't already, I'll put a link in the description. Go and check out Justin's channel. He does a lot of vlogging about a lot of different things, including various things as it concerns to his living in Japan. So go over and see Justin, spread a little holiday cheer to him as well. Anyway, tonight I wanted to talk specifically about my experiences with Christmas since moving to Japan, because I have been living here for over 6 years, almost 7 years, so I've spent a lot of Christmases here. And one of my concerns, I guess, when I first got here was I didn't really know what holidays were celebrated or how they were celebrated. I had a very limited outsider's knowledge of Japan and customs and practices and things like that. So that was a concern of mine, is Christmas celebrated, and how is it celebrated, and how many people, and, you know, is it going to be possible for me to find fun, festive things to do around Christmas time? I had like a rough idea that Christmas was celebrated in Japan just from like playing video games like Shenmue and Christmas nights, but again, I didn't really know to what extent it was, but I was pleasantly surprised my first Christmas here when I could go out to the city and see not just a little bit of Christmas spirit, but a lot, overflowing abundance of Christmassy everything, of Christmas trees and lights and snowmen and Santa Claus and just all kinds of displays and stores and things like that. Christmas music playing everywhere, Christmas markets, in fact. So I was pleasantly surprised by just how much Christmas is celebrated in Japan. Because before living here, I had been living in Germany for a couple of years, and Christmas time in Germany is awesome, absolutely awesome. The snow and the Christmas markets that we used to go to, that was great stuff. So my fear was it was going to be a bit of a step down coming to Japan, but not necessarily. There's so many different, as they call it, illumination, light displays you can go and check out, and fun things like that. And Tokyo Disney goes like full on for Christmas time. They really get into the holiday spirit. So anyway, Christmas, yeah, it definitely gets big ups in Japan. Even here in my neighborhood, I have neighbors that put up Christmas lights and Christmas displays, and that's cool. That's really I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's just nice to see it. I can remember being a kid and being driven around the neighborhood to the homes that had Christmas lights and displays out front. You know, mom or dad just driving us around so we go see the Christmas lights. And it's nice to know that on the other side of the planet I can still go for a walk down my street and see some lights and displays and things like that. So that's really cool. Anyway, some of my experiences with Christmas in Japan, because it is a little different. If you have a family, it's a family holiday. But for the most part, it's my understanding that, well, in my experience, that Christmas is also sort of a romantic holiday and also a shopping day, which was odd to me. I couldn't imagine, especially as a kid, doing anything on Christmas other than wake up, open presents, play with toys, eat Christmas dinner, and that's it. Like, you weren't leaving the house, period. The only reason you would leave the house would be to go to a cousin's house or your sister's house or somewhere. If you were going somewhere else to exchange gifts and eat dinner, that was the only reason you left the house. So I could say last year I was enjoying Christmas with my ex's family, and so I got to see how a Japanese family celebrates Christmas, because there's no, I mean, there is a small Christian community in Japan, but there's no real religious connotation to Christmas here. There's not a lot of religious imagery, even though people aren't ignorant of the fact that Christmas has that significance to Christians, that the birth of Jesus and all that stuff. They're aware of those things. It's just not part of the celebration. It's more about the Santa Claus and the presents and the music and, you know, the displays and things like that. So the one year I spent Christmas with a Japanese family, that was the day, and again, it was kind of odd because we went to go shopping, which I was not expecting at all. Essentially, my ex, her mom and brother and his wife and their baby, and then her aunts and uncles and their kids, and so we all got together, we had lunch essentially, and then went out to a mall where we went to go buy toys for the kids. We brought the kids with us and basically said, gave them each like a limit and told them to go pick out whatever they wanted, and that was like a Christmas gift for them. And so I didn't see any kids opening gifts out from under the tree. Like, we did that at our apartment. We had a tree and we wrapped presents and put them under the tree, but at her mother's house, none of that happened. They just showed up. We ate, I guess, a Christmas lunch, which was not really altogether very Christmassy. I don't even remember what we had, but it wasn't your typical like ham and you know, turkey and all the fixings and things like that. It was something else entirely. I can't even recall what it was at this point, but not a traditional holiday spread, to say the least. But then we went to the mall and bought some toys for the kids. But when we got back after that, that was when it felt more like Christmas, I guess I could say. We come back to the house, and then the kids take their toys out of the packaging and they assemble them and play with them, and there's music playing, and we had brought back some food for dinner, including, and this is something else that when I first got here I found out about it and thought it was a little odd. KFC. We'd come back with a whole mess of KFC with chicken and sides and all that kind of stuff. And apparently, yes, it's pretty common to eat some KFC on Christmas here. I don't know what the association is between Christmas and KFC. It's a bird, so I guess that's fine. Actually, KFC does run a pretty sweet Christmas menu here, though. I know you can get turkeys from there, but they also have like chicken pot pies and other things that they have exclusively at Christmas time. So if you didn't know, now you know. KFC has some pretty kick-ass food for Christmas time here in Japan. But we went back to her mom's house. The kids played with their toys, and the adults sat around talking and drinking wine and eating KFC. So it was pretty sweet. So it wasn't the traditional Christmas of my youth, but it was still pretty cool, and still just felt nice to be around a family, even if it wasn't my family, being around a family on Christmas. And yeah, that was pretty cool. That was last year. All the years leading up to that, though, if I had a girlfriend, I would spend Christmas Day with her, exchange gifts, go to have a dinner or whatever else. Pretty typical Christmas stuff. The Christmases without a girlfriend, those are actually more fun, if you ask me, because those were always the times when I could organize Christmas parties with my friends, and those were always the best, and they still are. We're actually going to do something kind of like that again this year, but the most fun was reserving karaoke rooms at a karaoke place. Like there are really big karaoke chains here, like Big Echo and Joy Sound and some other ones. But you can go there and get a really big room that can accommodate however many people you want. You can reserve it, and then you go in there and you get your own private room, and then you can pay for the, you know, all you can drink, all you can eat. And we would do things like that and just bring festive little, you know, things. Geez, one year my friend Tanaka came dressed as a reindeer, and that was adorable. But we would, you know, wear like antlers and Santa hats and stuff like that, and get really plastered, fill ourselves up with all kinds of holiday cheer, liquid cheer, I guess, and sing songs and exchange gifts, and just have like a really great time. So those are like my favorite Christmases so far since being in Japan. It was nice last year. Being with the family, and other ones it was nice being out with a significant other, but I enjoyed that. A large group of people all gathered around singing songs and wearing ugly sweaters and exchanging gifts and getting absolutely hammered. That's all kinds of Christmas right there. But I guess I don't want to drone on too long. I could go on forever talking about Christmassy stuff because I really do enjoy this holiday, and I really am grateful that they celebrate Christmas in a big bad way in Japan, and I can still go out and see Christmas lights and Christmas trees and go and see my friends and exchange some gifts and sing some songs and drink some eggnog and do all that kind of stuff that I didn't know if I'd be able to do, those kinds of things. So it's awesome whether I was in Louisiana or Germany or Japan. I can have some fun on Christmas Day and celebrate the way I like to, which is by having some nice, fun, festive loved ones around me. Whether they be friends or family, they're still your loved ones, and going out having a drink, giving and receiving some gifts, and just all around being happy and really soaking up the Christmas atmosphere. And I hope that's what you guys are doing this year too. I'm going to do my best to do that. Christmas, go hang out with the fellas, have some food, have some drinks, and try to have as much fun as possible. Anyway, everybody, thank you for listening. I just wanted to do this, make a quick little video sharing some of my experiences on Christmas time in Japan. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you again to Justin for letting me use some excellent Christmassy footage, and to everyone out there, take care and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, Happy Holidays.